Logan the Layman Critic here. Today's review is for Fist of the North Star, Legend of Raoh, Chapter of Death and Love. Long title, I know. It's from 2006 and directed by Takahiro Imamura. Let's talk movies. Three brothers, Kenshiro, the successor to the fighting school of Hokuto Shinken, Toki, a healer, and Raoh, a conqueror, must be brought together to stop the Emperor Souther, whose army has killed countless people and enslaved innocent children to build a pyramid. But Kenshiro and Raoh happen to be enemies, and they have their own agendas against Souther. This is the first of several chapters in a sub-series of Fist of the North Star called Legend of the True Savior. It's a retelling of the Souther arc in the manga/anime, but with two new characters named Reina and Soga, who have ties to Raoh's past. I like the additions. Reina in particular serves as a good foil for Raoh, whom I've always felt was kind of an uninteresting character. I never understood why he was more popular than Kenshiro. Anyway, back to Reina. She's tough and sensitive, and I find her motivations for serving Raoh to be interesting. She wants peace, and much like Raoh, she follows his ends justify the means approach, but it's more of a least of all evils motivation, and because she's a good person who wants order restored to the world, but she views Raoh as the most stable option for that to happen. So she makes it her mission to unite the brothers against Souther. And I'll be honest, I've never read the manga, and I've only watched the series through one time, and that was several years ago. So I virtually remember nothing of the Souther arc, so much of this retelling I was watching with fresh eyes. The character of Shu, who's a former ally turned enemy against Souther, he might be my favorite character of the movie besides Reina. His first appearance in the film makes quite an impression. It's a flashback where he defeats young Kenshiro in a fight, and the cost of defeat is death. So his peers demand that the rule be enforced and Kenshiro be killed. But he senses that the boy will be a force for good in the future, so Shu claws his own eyes out and blinds himself in exchange for sparing Kenshiro. Years later, they meet again, and he fights Kenshiro as a test, and he serves as a kind of mentor and guide for Diagnos, the hero, Kenshiro. The fight scenes are that style that's unique to Fist of the North Star. Lots of traditional martial arts, but with acupressure techniques that create more violent and gory results. And that's what makes the fights in this series stand out from a lot of other shonen work. The fight between Kenshiro and Souther on top of a pyramid has the right intensity and is emotionally satisfying, especially with the events leading up to it. Chapter of Death and Love is not as gory as the original 1986 film, which is a disappointment, I'll admit, but I guess that's fine because I really did enjoy it all the same. And speaking of that movie, you could view this as a sort of sequel to the 86 film, which is also a retelling of an earlier arc. It's like the first part. It's like an abridged version of the first few storylines with like Sheen and some stuff with Raoh. The art choices differ where characters like Raoh are concerned. He's got a different hair color. In this new one, it's true to the manga. But I think it otherwise works okay if you disregard those things. Then again, I might change my stance on this entirely after I watch the remaining films. There might be a lot of contradictions ahead that I don't know about. But I still would recommend this film as well as the 86 film and the original series for that matter. They're all very, very entertaining. So until next time, ladies and gentle fellows.